Brother needs to just find his way. He's gonna find it, man. Yeah. Giving all the praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakah Kodash. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the name of the one who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who was a so-called black man according to the King James Version Bible. Giving double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who told me all I know for the spirit, purpose, and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Saluting the sincere brothers striving for the crown that never fadeth away. Right. Shalom, shalom, the brother Bengal. Right, so basically I'm just gonna run through Isaiah 47 and break it down. You know, hopefully yourself and the other brother Kabash can join in and or just pretty much just take notes for that most part in it, so I can get an understanding of where you brothers is at, and you know, so we can just feed spiritually. You know, it's a spiritual banquet, pretty much, right? So this is Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah 47 verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, right? So the Heavenly Father, through the prophet Isaiah, is commanding America, which spiritually is also called Babylon the Great. You know, America has various different names, right? Spiritually, Sodom and Gomorrah, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, Assyria, Nineveh, all these ancient lands, right? And that's literally why it's called the virgin daughter of Babylon, the virgin daughter, right? Because, you know, there's a saying within the Bible, as is the mother, so is the daughter, right? If I need to get that right now, this is, so let me get that. This is the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 16 verse 44. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee. What is a proverb? A proverb is a wise saying. Shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. Right? So we know that America, the daughter, right, of her mother, which we know is ancient Babylon. So we know that America has likened itself onto ancient Babylon in terms of its spiritualities, because we know that America itself was founded in 1776 by the founding forefathers of America. We are talking about what do you call it? This guy, something Washington. What's his name? George Washington. And these are all Masons. These are all Freemasons. They wasn't actually a part of the Illuminati, because George Washington, he wasn't a part of the Illuminati, but he was a Freemason. Okay, Freemasonry. No, the Illuminati was founded in 1776, right, by Adam Weishaupt, right, in Germany, in Bavaria, right, and it was spread throughout, you know, the European nations like Poland, so forth, Italy, France. But then it got stopped, man. The whole Illuminati thing got dismantled, right? But it continued on through like Albert Pike in 1800s. In the 1800s, you had Albert Pike. He was a 33rd degree Mason, high up there, man. And you know, and Albert Pike, he's even said it himself in his as he wrote certain books like Morals and Dogma. He said it himself that pretty much Freemasonry is witchcraft. Okay, Freemasonry is witchcraft. It's also deeply rooted in the observance of the sun, the moon, you know, the stars, right, the planets and stuff like that. That all goes back to ancient Babylonian worship. When you observe the religion of the Chaldeans, that goes into astrology. That goes into the observance of the sun, the moon, the stars and stuff like that. And what the Chaldeans, the ancient Chaldeans, what they would do, because, you know, Chaldea, those are basically the citizens of Babylonia, which is pretty much where Iraq is today, right? So the religion of the Chaldeans, it was polytheistic. So you had diverse different gods that they were worshipping. But what they would do, their gods was pretty much tied to like planets, the stars and stuff like that. So what they would do, they would observe the movement of, you know, the planets and the sun and stuff like that, how they would predict the future. The brother, hopeful election 12 tribes shalom, man, may the Most High bless you and your household. So, you know, that's how the Chaldeans would predict the future, by observing the movement of the planets and stuff like that. So, you know, that all goes into, you know, soothsaying, wizards and stuff like that. And that's what America was founded off of. And that's what I'm saying. America was founded off of masonry, witchcraft, right? The first presidents, George Washington and all them, they were all a bunch of witches, warlocks and stuff like that, right? Even though George Washington didn't associate himself to the Illuminati, because he wasn't a part of the Illuminati, like I done said. He was a Mason though. All right. The brother Kabah Shalawah, may the Most High bless you and your household. So you understand what I'm saying? So let me read that. Let me read that part again. So it says, Ezekiel 16 verse 44, behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter, right? So we know that America pretty much has absorbed all the ancient occultisms of the Eastern world, man, into its society. All that pagan worship, that's where you see the all-seeing eye. Okay, you see all that symbolism. That all goes back to ancient paganism, man. The ancient occultism. If I can just get this Salakia starting to drizzle, man. Shit. Right while I'm doing the thing. This is Leviticus. Let me get this right now in Leviticus. This is Leviticus chapter 20 verse 6. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards to go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul and will cut him off from among his people. So there you go. So when you go after wizards or familiar spirits, right, and that's why the Heavenly Father's face is against America, right, because it was all founded on a Freemasonry, which is witchcraft, right? So this is Exodus chapter 20. Let me get this right now. Exodus 20, Salakia. Exodus chapter 22, verse 18. So it says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, right? So so the Heavenly Father is not going to allow America to live on, man. Why? Because it was founded upon witchcraft. It was founded upon, and we know that the Heavenly Father is a jealous entity, man. Okay, let me get this right now in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 14. Ye shall not go after other gods of the people which are round about you. Right, and so that's what America has done. America has pretty much brought in all the paganisms of the ancient, pretty much the Eastern world. Look up a woman called Madame Blavatsky. I mean, she was Ukrainian. She pretty much she was set up by the Jesuits. Just look her up, Madame Blavatsky, right? B-L-A-V-A, Blavas, and then S-K-I, Blavatsky, man. Look her up, man. She was a down witch. She was all into that occultism. She was used by the Jesuits to bring in all that occultism, all that paganism into the modern world, man. Okay. And then she was on the scene during the time of Albert Pike. Look up all these characters. Okay. These are prolific in American spirituality, which is all left-hand rule of Satan worship. Read on Deuteronomy 6 verse 15. For Yahweh thy God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of Yahweh thy God be kindled against thee and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Right, and that's what's going to happen to America. America will be destroyed off the face of the earth, right? Because it's all about worshiping the pagan gods of ancient Babylonia, Egypt, right, so forth and so on. Like when you go to ancient Babylonia, one of the gods that they were worshiping was Astaroth, right? And they will worship these gods through the planets that they would observe, like Venus, Jupiter. Okay, so these are all pagan gods that was worshipped in ancient Babylonia. That the Freemasons are now bringing that. They pretty much are reviving that ancient spirituality in their whole cult, right? And that's what America was founded of. America was founded off of all that Eastern mythology. Let me get this right now. Which is really a Satan worship. Let me get this in a second. No, Salakio. This is 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Verse 20. But I say, the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to the Most High. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Right, so we know that America was founded off of Satan worship. Okay? Right? And that's where you see the all-seeing eye, right, on the American dollar bill, right? Because Esau's trying to play the Most High. So really, Freemasonry is a straight-up mockery of the Bible, of the God of our forefathers. Is a straight-up mockery, because now Esau is trying to take the place of the Heavenly Father and show himself as being the Most High, right? And stuff like that. Fuck, let me go back to Isaiah. Let me go back to Isaiah now. Isaiah 47. Let me go back here. There's Isaiah again, Isaiah 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. So now we're getting the understanding why America is referred to as the daughter of ancient Babylon, right? Because it was founded upon all them ancient paganisms of Babylonia, okay? Heaven worship, right? Okay. You know, we're talking about the goddess of the heavens, which we know is Semiramis, okay? Ashtaroth, all right? Let me read on. So it says, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Right, so we know that America was once the land of opportunity, but if you see the current state of America, America is wild as hell. It's nothing but division within America. Okay, there's nothing but what they call natural disasters, plague in America, which we know is all set up by Esau, really set up by the Heavenly Father using Esau, Edom. Okay, you have tornadoes, you have floodings everywhere, wildfires. Okay, hurricanes hitting America, snowstorms. We've had, I believe, last year we're talking about extreme heat hitting California, various parts of the states. So that's why America is no more being called tender and delicate anymore, man. America's rough. You see homelessness, drug addiction. Okay, you see nothing but protesting. All right. So it says, read on. So it says, take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Right, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. Right, so what does that go into about take the millstones and grind meal? Because if any of you brothers know anything about, you know, how women, because you know what was the job of a woman? A woman's job was to be like a confectionery, cooks, bakers. In fact, the scriptures go into that when King David came on the scene. Women were supposed to take the job of being confectionaries and cooks. I believe that's in Samuel's, if I can try and get that one out. Right, so this is 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse. Let me start from verse 10. And Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people that asked of him a king. So our people, we wanted a king. We want to be like the other nations, right? So, and Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people, right, that asked of him a king. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots. And he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over fifties, and will set them to ear his ground, right, and to reap his harvest, right, and to make his instruments of war and instruments of his chariots. Right, that's the point. It's the point right here, verse 13. And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries and to be cooks and to be bakers. Right, so that's the job of a woman. You know, men would be like the craftsmen, but then the woman would be like the cooks, the confectionaries. And that's why when you go back to Isaiah 47, verse 2, this is what the Most High is telling to Babylon, right? The daughter, because remember, Babylon is likened unto a woman, a whore. So it says, take the millstones and grind meal. Okay, so what did a woman do? A woman would take millstones to grind grain or corn. A woman would take millstone and to grind those to grind that wheat into powder to make flour, man. Do you understand? And that was a whole process where a woman would pretty much have to uncover her arms, you know, her thighs and stuff, and really, you know, put her hands into the whole labor. If you just look into that whole, if you just look at certain clips about certain women using millstones to grind, you know, corn or wheat to grind it into flour, like if, for example, if you look at certain West African women, when they're peeling yam, they have to pretty much, you know, lift up their kind of their dress and, you know, make bare their arms. You know, they pretty much have to show a certain degree of nakedness of themselves to, you know, get into that job. So that's what that's talking about. It goes into take the millstones and grind meal, right? Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, right? Uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. Okay, so we see the shame of America. The shame of America is being seen, all right? The shame of America is being seen, right? And how is the shame of America being seen, right? We know that America was founded, you know, and this is why they're trying to get rid of slavery out of the textbooks. Why? Because Esau, the so-called white man, he's ashamed of how America was founded. It's founded upon the every time, you know, Esau talks about justice and stuff like that, justice and, you know, equal treatment, and then you raise up the issue of slavery or what was done to the native Indians, it makes Esau look like a straight up hypocrite. And that's why they're trying to get rid of or falsify slavery and get rid of it out of the textbook, out of the school curriculum, right? Because we see that the shame of the so-called white man is being seen. Okay, so this woman, she's being made bare to the whole world. Okay, that's basic information. Let me just get this out, Salakio, if I can just get this in the NLT. Isaiah 47 in the NLT. Salakio. Isaiah 47. Right. Isaiah 47 verse 2, right? This is the same chapter, right? But in the NLT. Isaiah 47 verse 2, take heavy millstones and grind flour. So there you go, there you have it, man. So that's what women would do in like olden days. Okay, to get flour, she would take the millstones and grind that wheat or the corn into flour. So it says, remove your veil and strip off your robe. Expose yourself to public view. So that's what America's being exposed to public view, right? You will be naked and burdened with shame. I will take vengeance against you without pity. Okay, so how is other ways that America is being exposed? There's various different ways that America is being exposed, man, for its wickedness, that it was all founded upon witchcraft. Now it's being revealed that the founding forefathers of America, they were all a bunch of Masons. Okay, it was all based upon based upon witchcraft, right? What else do we know? We know that the elites of America, or we can say that the presidents themselves, they're involved in child sacrifice. Okay, orgies with children, you know, all that child trafficking, or the Bohemian Grove. We all know about the Bohemian Grove, where the elites, or all the powerful, the world's most powerful leaders, they group together annually down there in California, down there in the Bohemian Groves, to worship Moloch, man. Okay, to worship Moloch, a 40-foot wooden statue of a wooden owl, man. Right, and they, what do? They engage in child sacrifice. They engage in all kind of debauchery in the woods, getting naked, running around like a bunch of fairies in the woods after one another. Okay, rituals, right? What do you call that stuff, man? Where they start having sex with dead bodies and stuff like that. They do all kind of nonsense, man. These elites, okay, they got underground tunnels, underground cities where they stash thousands of children. Okay, they bring them over. They ship them over in these evergreen shipping containers, right? We all know about the Bill Clinton and the Hillary what's his name? Hillary Clinton Foundation. Oh, what else do we know about? More shame upon America. We know about what they did to Haiti. Okay, when they sent $4.4 billion dollars in United States aid over to Haiti. Haiti never even got anything out of that. They got like 6 houses built, but now there was a conference. There was a U.S. conference where they were trying to. There was one guy. He stood up and he wanted an audit into what happened to the rest of the money. Okay, you're talking about $4.4 billion was sent over to Haiti, but we all know that's what U.S. aid is all about. That's a money laundering scheme. Okay, that's all money. So you know that all that money, all the elites, they pretty much paid themselves. All that taxpayer money, they paid themselves with that, man. Okay, necrophilia, exactly. That's what's called necrophilia. They into all. So again, this is part of the shame of America, right? And all this information is being brought out on X. People are waking up, right? And that's why there's protesting everywhere. People don't trust their leaders, and that's why the scriptures talk about in Second Esdras, I believe it's chapter 15, where it says there shall be sedition among men; they shall not regard their kings nor princes. All right. So again, this shame is being brought out. Okay. So let me read on to lock you. Right. So let me read it in the NLT because it's much more easier. So lock you. Right. So it says, when it says in Isaiah 47, verse 3, it says, I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. That's in the KJV, right? What is that talking about? It's talking about Yahweh Shai is going to meet America, but not as a man as he did 2,000 years ago. He's going to come in what the so-called white man calls a UFO invasion. Okay, that's why this whole controversy about UFOs and stuff like that, UFO sightings, people are running footage and they're actually seeing these orbs in the sky and stuff like that. Because this is fact, this is factual. Okay, the Heavenly Father himself, he's going to invade planet Earth and really come and visit Babylon the Great. That's going to be the focal point of the salvation. Okay, the Lord will take vengeance and take vengeance. We'll take vengeance. Why? And we're going to read into it. Right? So it says, back in the NLT version, verse 4, Isaiah 47, verse 4, our Redeemer, whose name is Yahweh of heaven's armies, is the Holy One of Israel. O beautiful Babylon, sit now in darkness and silence. Never again will ye be known as the Queen of Kingdoms. Right? So we know that Babylon is made to sit down in the dust. The dust represents what? Death. Okay, or the grave, all right, or hell. Okay, sit down in the dust in a low condition, right? Sit now in darkness and silence, right? Darkness meaning there's no future for Babylon, man. There's no future for America, right? There's no future for America. You see what I'm saying? There's no future for America. We're seeing businesses go bankrupt, right? Especially if they institutionalize another lockdown. If they institutionalize another lockdown, it's going to be over. Right? So let me get this. The brother Chikamadi Agrari Shalawam Yahweh Shem Yahshai Brakathon. Right? Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Right? For the heathen are dismayed at the... that's beautiful. That's beautiful because that goes into, you know, the Chaldean worship, and really that goes into Freemasonry, because Freemasonry is really a coming off of that whole the ancient Babylonian worship, right? But it says, it advises, the Heavenly Father is advising his people not to follow the ways of these other nations, man. Right? This is Sirach 41 verse 7. The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake. So there you go, right? So again, that shame. That goes into that shame, man. Okay, and who's reproaching them? Who's coming to them and telling them to their face about They took no account of our labors, right? The righteous man. Who's the righteous man? The prophets, right? This is Isaiah 63 verse 3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger and trample them, right, in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. So that's parabolic, because we know that Yahweh Shai is not going to come as a man for his garments to be, sprinkled with blood. That's parabolic, meaning with the amount of killing Yahweh Shai is going to do. The scriptures tell you that the blood shall come up to Salakia. If I can just get this in Revelation, so let me get this roughly. I think it's 19. Read that there's a precept where it goes into the blood shall come up to if I can meet us. But let me just get this. Revelation chapter 19 verse 11. And I saw heaven opened, and I behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. Right, so when the Lord comes back to invade planet Earth, he's going to do it in righteousness. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Right, so talk about the name of Yahweh Shai is a mystery itself that only he and his elect are going to know. Right, it says he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. Right, those white horses are referring to what? The chariots, the so-called UFO spaceships. So it says, well, white horses clothed in fine linen, white and clean. So there you go, there you have it, man. Right. The elder Sagalar Barak Yom, Shalom, man. May the Most High bless you and your household, man. Right. So let me go back to this Isaiah 47. Salakio. So it says back in Isaiah 47 verse 5, oh beautiful Babylon, right? So America is not looking beautiful anymore, right? As it says, thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, right? Sit now in darkness and silence. Never again will you be known as the queen of kingdoms. Okay, right? Because why? Because you got America is being rivaled by China now. Because as you see what's happening now, there's been peace talks or peace negotiations between Putin and DJ Trump over the whole war in Ukraine. Okay, so now they're actually saying now that America's chief rival will now be China. Okay, but you see, this is all the stage, man. What you're seeing between all these world leaders is just the stage. You're seeing a stage full of nothing but actors posing as world leaders. Okay, let me read on. So verse 6, for I was angry with my chosen people and punished them. This is verse 6, Isaiah 47, verse 6 in the NLT version. For I was angry with my chosen people and punished them by letting them fall into your hands. But you, Babylon, showed them no mercy. You oppressed even the elderly. Right, so there you go. This is the Heavenly Father. And how did the Heavenly Father deliver us as a nation into the hands of Babylon? Through the transatlantic slave trade from West Africa. Right, the slave boats. When you go into Deuteronomy 28 verse 68, or when you go to Deuteronomy 28 verse 48, when it says, a nation that thou knowest not shall come against thee from far, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Okay, he shall show no mercy to the young or to the old. Right, and who was that talking about? I was talking about Esau, Edom, coming from the Americas with them slave boats, coming to take our people from West Africa, Nigeria, Congo, Angola, right, Cameroon, okay, Benin, right, Ghana, and ship our people over there. And that was a gruesome travel for our people, man. Stashed up in them boats like sardines, okay, for months on end. Sometimes you got to look back at that and think, how did our people even survive that shit, man? But we managed to survive it. Why? Because it was all prophecy. Prophecy had to be fulfilled, okay? And that's why it says, for I was angry with my chosen people and punished them. So this is all a punishment. by letting them fall into your hands. So the Most High put us into the hands of America. But you, Babylon, showed them no mercy, right? Because we don't know, and this is part of the shame. This is part of the shameful spewing upon America's glory, that about what they did to us, man. There's still, hey, man, there was some Edomite. I perceive her to be Edomite. She came up on the, I believe, the TikTok, and she was actually bringing about information of our own people, saying that, listen, man, when they killed Jake, what they would do is they will hang us up, and then they would actually eat us, man. You know, Esau was into cannibalizing his slaves. They would actually eat us, man. Okay. Right, but they did that to what's his name? Nat Turner. They did that to Nat Turner, man. Okay. And so that, again, and all the scriptures talk about he that shows no mercy. Right? This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemy. So there you go, there you have it, man. Okay. And let me read on. Verse 7, Isaiah 47, verse 7. You said, I will reign forever as queen of the world. Right? So America is delusional. America's gassed up. Right? You have the American citizens. Right? You have thousands of white, or quote unquote Edomite nationalists, right? Supremacists. And they were definitely voting for Trump, man. They talking about making America great again. MAGA. Right? I will reign forever. You said I will reign forever as queen of the world. Okay, because ultimately you got DJ Trump. What does he want to do? He wants to tariff all these nations, even his own allies, putting heavy tariffs on them, taxes. Why? Because ultimately America wants even its own allies to purchase Americanized goods, okay, manufactured goods, and not to rely so much on Russian goods, man, or Chinese goods, man. So it's pretty much a whole tariff war that's been going on, man. Why? Because America wants to be the top of the nations. In fact, what does it say in let me get that right now. In Daniel's, it says this right now in Daniel's. This is Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7, verse 20. It says, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell. Right, so they had 10 horns. So this is all parable, this is mystery talk, right? 10 horns represent what? The European Union, the 10 European markets. Right now it's 27, but it was 10 European markets, okay? In 1959, if I'm not mistaken, if you could correct me. So it says, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up. So where's the other that came up? Talking about that little horn that spake great blasphemies, which we know is America, because America is a part of the whole European, this whole beast, this Romanized system. Okay, but now they're discussing, there's certain senators talking about that America should withdraw its troops from NATO, all right, the NATO alliance. Okay, reading on, so it says, before whom 3 fell. Three fell, which we know is Spain, France, and Britain, because you had the revolutionary wars that America had with these 3 European nations, Britain, France, and Spain. It says, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes. And this is the point, it had a mouth that spake very great things. This is the point, whose look was more stout than his fellows. Right? So America has a look that's more stout than his fellows, right? Because ultimately America wants to be the chief of all the nations forever. But as I was reading before, in Isaiah, and what does it say in Sirach? In the book of Sirach, it says, he that taketh to himself authority shall be hated. And it says Isaiah 47, verse 7, back in the NLT version, right? You said, I will reign forever as queen of the world. You did not reflect on your actions or think about their consequences. You hear that? So that's deep, right? So America thought, and that's why you go to the average Edomite. If you check the mentality of these Edomites, these that walk around, even over here across the pond in the UK, they'll talk about, living an honest living, and justice. They have a whole justice system over here, right? As over there in America, all throughout the European Union, but this whole Romanized system. Esau sets up what you call a justice system, right? But then it's like that only applies. Justice only applies to him. When justice, when the nigga talks about justice, now you gotta forget about that shit, man. Or you're a racist, or they'll find some other way to gaslight you or evade accountability. You know? Well, some of them Edomites know that something's coming for them, because when I'm out there on the highways and byways, some of them Edomites know that when I'm out there, and that's why I'm out there telling these Edomites, listen, you're going to slavery, police never roll up. Police never roll up. You know why? Because the spirit within these Edomites, deep within them, the marrow of their bones, they know that they got consequences is coming for them. Right? So it says, you did not reflect on your actions or think about the consequences. Listen to this, you pleasure-loving kingdom. Right? Listen to this, it gets verse 8. Right? Listen to this, you pleasure-loving kingdom, living at ease and feeling secure. You say, I am the only one and there is no other. I will never be a widow or lose my children. Right? So America is a pleasure-loving kingdom, man. All about pleasure-loving. Right? That goes into all my days, that goes into the whole do as thou wilt, the Aleister Crowley doctrine, right? Again, that showing you that America is all based upon witchcraft. Because Aleister Crowley, he has said it himself, he's the B666, right? And you know that the occultists, the elites, they take their whole ideologies and ritualisms off of this guy, man. Okay? Off of this guy right there. So this is the whole mind frame of these Edomites, right, of America. Verse 9, well, both these things will come upon you in a moment, widowhood and loss of your children. Yes, these calamities will come upon you, despite all your witchcraft and magic. Right, so there you go, there you have it. So despite the witchcraft and magic of America, all these calamities is going to come upon widowhood, okay, the loss of children, right? America is going to be left desolate, destroyed. Verse 10, you felt secure in your wickedness. No one sees me, you said, but your wisdom and knowledge have led you astray. And you said, I am the only one and there is no other. You see what I'm saying? So America did not acknowledge the Heavenly Father, right? So that's a great level of conceit, where you're of pride. Okay, I am the only one and there is no other. So, because that's what the Heavenly Father says. The Most High says, I am and there is none else. Okay, so really the plans of the American elites is against the plans and intents and counsels of the Heavenly Father, right? They're trying to make a mockery of the Heavenly Father and his counsel and trying to put their counsel at the forefront, right? But we know that according to Job, I believe chapter 5, it said the Most High will disappoint their crafty devices, man. Okay, in fact, let me get that real quick. I don't want to butcher it. This is Job. So like you, I'm gonna just try and read straight through it. Job chapter 5, verse 11. To set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. Right. So who's mourning? The Israelites, man. Starting with our Lord's willing, all you brothers, sisters, we're all part of that number. We're going to be exalted to safety. He talking about the Most High disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right, so there you go, there you have it, man. Right, because you have this guy Albert Pike. He was on the scene during like the 1800s. He predicted World War 1, 2, and 3. Right, and all these world wars, ultimately what the elites want to come out of all these world war conflicts, a one world order where all these nations come together to formulate a centralized governmental structure, a digitalized governmental structure, man. Okay, where everybody's pretty much worshipping AI, really Esau through AI, man. Their whole digital god. Elon Musk was talking about that shit, them shits, right? And but it's the Heavenly Father that's going to disappoint all that. Okay, their whole plan, their NWO order objective. Okay, to depopulate the world, right? Open all these smart cities and stuff, right? That which are pretty much open concentration camps, right? Subject humanity under pretty much a communism. Okay, pretty much a dictatorship, which is you follow their orders or you just get blacklisted, man. And just like what's happening over there in China, they have a social credit score system, right? And they got certain a certain app which is combined with their social credit system, where if you go off, then they can blacklist you, and you got pretty much have to live off grid. You can't buy a house, you can't get a job, you can't book a hotel, you can't buy groceries. You just homeless. You off grid. So that's pretty much what you got. Or they'll arrest you and put you in a detention center. So that's pretty much what these. But you see, the Heavenly Father is going to disappoint that, because that's not in line with His agenda. Let me read on. It's Isaiah 47, verse 10 in the NLT. Reading on, you felt secure in your wickedness. No one sees me, you said, but your wisdom and knowledge have led you astray. And you said, I am the only one and there is no other. So disaster will overtake you and you won't be able to charm it away. Calamity will fall upon you and you won't be able to buy your way out. Right? A catastrophe will strike you suddenly, one for which you are not prepared. Right? See, a catastrophe is coming to America. Listen, man, we have to prepare ourselves. A catastrophe is coming to the United States. Right? And pretty much to this world, various parts of this world. Because remember, the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night, right? The Lord's going to meet this world. He's going to invade this earth, right? In a time where people are not going to be prepared for it. Right? So it says, now use your magical charms. Use the spells you have worked at all these years, right? Because remember, like I said, America was founded upon all this witchcraft. See, that's how you know the Bible is real, man. Right? The word of the Most High is true. Because it's actually telling you the truth of this kingdom that we're in right now. So it says, use the spells you have worked at all these years. Maybe they will do you some good. Maybe they can make someone afraid of you. Right? All the advice you receive has made you tired. Where are all your astrologers? Those stargazers who make predictions each month. Let them stand up and save you from what the future holds. Because remember, when you go to ancient Chaldea, the astrologers and the stargazers of Chaldea, they're wise men. They observe the movements of the planets, like Jupiter, like Venus, man. Right? Because they tie these planets to their patron deities, and they observe the movements of the planets, the sun, right, the moon, the stars, and by observing these, the works of the Heavenly Father, really, that they in their mind they thought that they could predict the future, right? They could predict the future of or the intents of their deities or their gods or their pagan, right, idols, right? So that's what it says. Let them stand up and save you from what the future holds, right? So there you go. That goes into their idolatrous practices. But they are like straw burning in a fire. They cannot save themselves from the flame. You will get no help from them at all. Right? So you're not going to get no... So, you see, so Esau, Edom, they're going to be praying to to Molech. But guess what? They're not going to get no help from them at all, because they need to understand is that, you see, the devils that they're worshiping, because these idols that they're worshiping are really devils, and the devils are subject to the Heavenly Father. Do you understand? The devils are at service of the Most High. So the Most High is saying, you will get no help from them at all. Okay? You see? Their hearth is no place to sit for warmth. And all your friends, those with whom you've done business since childhood, will go their own ways, turning a deaf ear to your cries. So let me get this lock in. It's in Isaiah. Then I'm going to close out in a minute. So lock you. Let me go back to this Isaiah 47 verse 13, right? Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. So this is in the KJV version, right? There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Right, so we know that America, fire is going to burn up America. Okay? Thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee, right? So no one's going to deliver Babylon from the consequence that's going to come upon it, right? As the scriptures tell you, you're going to reap what you sow, man. The sister Sharon or Shalom, may the Most High bless you and your household. Malachi 1 verse 3 to 14. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Right? So Esau thinks he's going to build. Right? Esau believes he's going to build. That's why you see the whole situation over there in Gaza. Right? Over there in Gaza. You know, Esau already got his multi-billion projects already mapped out, man. He already had it mapped out, all planned out what he had intended to do to them Palestinians. Really to totally wipe them out and really take the land and the resources, because off the coast of Gaza you have something called the Gaza Marine, right? So you have a multi-billion gas reserve, right? A gas reserve, and Esau got plans for the Mediterranean, man. For the whole Mediterranean Sea, there's a lot of gas reserves over there for Esau to make money. So, you know, Esau, the so-called white man, he will stop at nothing to achieve his plans. It doesn't matter how severe, how many people die in the process, children, women, he don't care, man. Okay? Because I remember the scriptures tell you in Habakkuk, the prophet Habakkuk, that this man is as death and he cannot be satisfied, man. He don't care. He will wipe out his own people just to achieve his own plans, man. And that's why we need the Lord to save us from this man, from this man's bloodshedding, is bloodshedding, man. Okay? So it says, thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. Right? So you understand? So there's no forgiveness for Esau, Edom. This is the people against whom the Lord has righteous anger forever. Okay? So when people come and say, oh, you know, mainly, and usually these are people that ask what's going to happen to Esau. Listen, there's no, Esau was made to be a vessel, right, that the Most High will show his hatred through. Right? Don't take it personally. You need to, the Most High's thoughts are not your thoughts, his ways are not your ways. Okay? Isaiah 29 verse 10. For the Lord have poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes, the prophets and your rulers, the seers have he covered. Right? So, and that's why a lot of our people can't get it. Because the Most High poured a certain spirit, right? There's certain spirits in the heavens that are set up or designed, right, or have the office of blinding people from the truth, from seeing the glory of the Heavenly Father. But anyway, with that, so that's the breakdown of Isaiah 47. Hope you're edified, man. Shalom. Shalom.